All right, let's be honest. You absolutely suck at making offers to sellers on Zillow. You sound like a telemarketer trying to sell a used car warranty to your own dang grandma. You're stuttering, you're panicked, you're sweating, and you're acting like you're asking Susie out to junior prom back in high school. We both know how that ended up. But don't worry, I got you. What I'm gonna do today is show you exactly how to lowball motivated sellers on Zillow, exactly how to hack Zillow for the best filters. And by the end of this video, you're gonna go from, what house do you want? Let me give you a cash offer right now, John, and let's get it locked up right now. So let's turn you from the human version of a spam call to an absolute G of a wholesaler that closes deals on Zillow. Now, all jokes aside, you probably do suck at calling sellers on Zillow, and you're probably blaming Zillow as the problem. Now, Zillow calling for sale by owners is probably not the best way to get a wholesale deal in 2025, especially coming into 2026, but still not the worst thing in the world. I mean, time and time again, I show how easy it is to get successful and get deals on the Zillow for sale by owner page. I mean, here's a live stream I did last year, which completely just destroyed everyone's perceptions on Zillow and honestly just broke the entire internet. But I went live right here and I said, I'm going to cold call motivated sellers until I get a deal. And guess what? Within about an hour, about an hour-ish, right here, about an hour, I closed a seller within an hour and a half. And so it was pretty kind of crazy how I did this, but you could do the same exact thing. I said, hey, I'm not getting off this dang live stream until I close a deal. Now, the craziest part about this was I was prepared to call for 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 hours, but it only took me 90 minutes because I knew exactly what I had to do to get a deal locked up. So let me show you exactly my hacks on how to do it, exactly my script for talking to these motivated sellers to get them locked up and done as soon as you possibly can. Now, this is a real live stream, by the way, which you can go look at. Just look cold calling live until I get a wholesaling deal, and it'll be right there. So first and foremost, we have to be able to filter out our leads on Zillow. So let's choose Columbus, Ohio, for example. So let's actually do the county. Let's do Franklin County. And we just search Franklin County, Ohio. So the best deals on Zillow are actually the ones on the More tab, right? They're not actually listed by those dang stupid realtors. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do owner posted. That's pretty much it. So again, we're gonna go here to owner posted. And what's gonna do is show all the for sale by owners in the area. Now you just don't wanna instantly call the top ones you see or whatever makes it feel good, right? What you wanna do is you wanna go by newest and scroll all the way to the bottom, because the main rule here is you wanna find these FSBOs that are over 100 days old. So my general rule here is the FSBO has to be over 100 days old, because honestly, if you just list your FSBO, the seller's going to be like, oh, well, I'm still waiting for a buyer. And they live in this la fairy tale land. And let me actually be honest with you. Every single seller on Zillow is in crazy la fairyland. They think their house is worth $1 trillion. In reality, obviously it's not. But they all are crazy pie in the sky. They don't want to use a realtor. These are the worst type of sellers possible. So how do we get deals on Zillow? Well, what we do, we move them from crazy pie in the sky, crazy price. We basically just beat them down to a pulp, and not with us physically doing it, by just the market doing it, right? So these people have crazy prices, right? And what they do is they're not able to ever sell them. But after 100 days, some of them are actually like, I actually need to sell the house now, and no one wants to call me. So for example, this property right here got listed for sale by 19 hours ago, for sale by owner. They are going to be getting a ton of calls from real estate agents, from other wholesalers, and just people in general. They're going to be getting 30, 40, 50 calls a day. These type of people think is everybody wants to buy my house. Everyone wants to have a conversation with me. I have the most valuable piece of real estate in the entire world, which is never the case, to be honest with you. But they think that because they get 100 calls the first day. Next day, they get 50 calls. And guess what happens? After a week, they might get 3 or 4 calls. But guess what happens after month 2? They might get 1 call a day. Month 3, no calls. And after 100 days, nobody wants to call them anymore. And they have that crazy price. Now they actually need to sell after 100 days, but they can't relist the house. It doesn't really work like that. They're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? That's when you call them when they're at the point of the most motivation. And these are people that are willing to take 70, 80, 90, even $100,000 price reductions, because they just listed a crazy price and now they don't get it. Now they can't relist it. It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So again, you're going to scroll to the bottom of the barrel, right? And you're going to get properties over 100 days old. Remember, you got gotta let these fester. It's like a fine wine, some aged cheddar. This is how you do it. So right here, these are all over 100 days old. You're gonna get a property like this. So this one's a for sale by owner. I mean, uglier the better, as you know. This one's pretty dang ugly, as you could assume. So that's looking good here. And where you're gonna find is investor special. Obviously, always good to hear that. I will tell you though, if you do find someone saying as is, it's being sold as is, that's a good sign for you. If you ever hear the word ARV, so if anyone puts the word ARV in a description on Zillow, it's most likely a wholesaler listing the house, which they don't own, which I don't even get into that legality on that. Kind of crazy. So this person, if you want to see, they're absolutely probably insane in the brain. It was listed 6 months ago, over 100 days ago, and had a pending sale, which a wholesaler probably locked it up. Listed again, wholesaler locked it up. Pending sale again, then right back on the market here. Absolutely crazy. So this person has a price and they're not even willing to reduce it at all. They are in like crazy town, which this seller is going to be a little nuts here, but maybe they might want to sell. So how do I go get this deal? Now, we don't know if this person's motivated or not. Like, I have zero clue. The only way you're gonna know is by calling this person up. And when you call them, you're gonna use this exact script. You're going to first call them and ask them, how long has this property been listed on Zillow? Then they're gonna indicate 100 days or maybe 150 days. No, it's been listed for, and they sometimes do this. They're like, well, I don't know, like maybe a couple months ago. Wait, let me look here. It says 100 days. It's been listed for 100. Yeah. So just asking this, Mr. Seller, just so I get this understood in my head. So it's been listed for 100 days. I mean, I guess my question is, if it's been listed for 100 days, I mean, why hasn't it sold yet? Seems like a decent property. And you're basically going to flip the script back on them. You're basically going to ask them, why hasn't this been sold yet? I mean, it's listed for over 100 days, right? Because if you just call this person, say, hey, idiot, Dumbo, crazy person, you listed this house over 100 days ago for 105 and no one's tried to even offer you that. Don't you realize how stupid you are for listing it this high? You need to reduce the price, give me a lowball offer, and so I can make $20,000 off of you right now. That is what you probably want to say. You don't, no, you ain't gonna say that, bro. You are gonna have them reveal motivations. You're just gonna say, you're dumb, you need to reduce the price. You're gonna ask, hey, why hasn't it sold yet? And the seller's either gonna tell you crazy town answer, or they're gonna say, it might just be the price. So you don't know, right? This is going to be like 1 out of like 20 of them are going to be like good and they're going to turn into great deals. So you're going to have to just discover. Now you got to remember, most of these people again are in cuckoo crazy town and they don't need to sell. They just want to sell the property, but they might just say, well, you know, everyone's just an idiot except for me and my property. Okay. Then you know you're dealing with this crazy person, right? It's like that person that, you know, they've had 20 boyfriends and each time the boyfriend's broken up with them after 2 weeks, maybe it's not because every man in the world is terrible. Maybe you're the problem, right? You know, I know a lot of guys that can't keep a girlfriend for more than 3 weeks, and maybe it's not because all these women are terrible. Maybe it's because you like cheating on them. I ain't gonna get into the personal information with people, but it's like, you know, I hear a lot of guys and girls out here, you know, especially my age, are like, you know, every guy sucks. Every woman sucks. I'm like, I know a lot of people, you know, generally people are okay. They're not terrible. Maybe you're the problem, right? And so some people are generally like that. They think every real estate buyer just doesn't value the true value of their multi-million-dollar 1,000 square foot house in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. But you got to just ask them that, right? So again, you can kind of go into a little softer beginning. I mean, especially if you're like, hey, you don't want to deal with aggressive sellers. You can always say like, hey, is this the owner of 2230 Cleveland Avenue? Hey, I just had a quick question. I'm looking at the pictures here on the property. I know it got listed over 100 days ago. How are the pictures? Are they any different now than from when you took them? Any updates on the property? Okay, perfect. I mean, so again, it's been listed for around 100 days here. So I guess my question here is, as a buyer, why hasn't it been sold yet? And you just see what they say. Now, sometimes you're going to get the seller say something like, hey, it's been locked up and we wrote contracts, but we never got the financing. And you might be like, well, why don't you think you got the financing? Was it the house that was distressed, or was it just, it didn't appraise? And they're going to say some crazy excuse, but like that, sometimes they just say, well, it didn't appraise, or the house just needs too much work. I'm like, okay. And then you just kind of get to the next part here, where it really depends, right? My personality is more just getting to the price here. If you want to, you can build some rapport, like, hey, do you like the area? Do you live in the area? Tell me the story about the house, stuff like that. But then you just get into, well, you know, obviously if it hasn't been sold in 100 days and no one's really giving you any good offers on the property, I don't know if I want to be the right buyer here. I mean, 105 is just a little too high, because if no one's to buy it for that price, I don't know if I can do that. I mean, insane. If I bought this all cash, I close in like 14 days, me and my partner go out here and buy this, the cash buyer, what's the best price you can do here? And you just see if they reveal it right. Now, some crazy sellers are gonna be like, oh, they might say, oh, I don't know, 104,000, or they say their crazy price, but sometimes they give a nice I could probably do 85. Then they're a little more desperate, they're a little more motivated, then we can get in some better offers here. And this is when you hit them with your lowball. Now, you might be like, Zach, how in the world do I calculate the best lowball here? Oh, this is pretty dang simple. If a property like this is listed for, let's say, $105,000, what you're gonna do is multiply this by 0.7. What that is gonna be is your MAO on the deal. So for these Zillow for sale by owners, my general rule is the MAO is going to be 70% of the actual listed price. So if you want to make, let's just say you want to make 10 grand on this deal, you're going to have to lock it up for $63,500, which means I would probably offer 55 grand on this deal. And you might be like, Zach, that's really aggressively low, and I don't really care. You have to be aggressively low and get good discounts. I've shown time and time on this YouTube channel and everywhere else, I'm able to get these $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 price reductions, and the seller actually says yes, because I'm just willing to lowball people. And I understand most of the time they're not gonna say yes, but if you do enough, you're gonna get deals. And if you just go to YouTube and search live call flip with Rick, you're gonna see all these live closings of deals I've done throughout the years. And you can see time and time again, if I lowball, I'm gonna go out here and get a ton of deals. That's simple to make money on these Zillow for sale by owners. You filter out 100 days old on the FSBOs. You start calling them. You build a little bit of rapport, see how long they've been listing it for, any changes on the house and the pictures, ask them why it hasn't sold, which they should reveal because the price is cuckoo. You figure out what their best price is, you counter with a massive lowball, and you just get to work. Now, again, there's a lot of these closing strategies and things like that. I mean, you can hit it with a price anchor, reverse price anchor, lowball method, right? The one that I always found is a reverse price anchor. So a standard price anchor is something like, hey, in the ideal world, I would want to buy this for $55,000, which again, puts the blame on you. I like to put the blame on somebody else. So I do what I call a reverse price anchor. So it's a price anchor, but you just kind of reverse the ending. So you say, hey, I was talking to my partner, Rick, and he wants to buy this for around $55,000. Now you're the decision maker still, but you put the blame on them, and that usually works really good on the FSBOs. And they say, oh, I don't know, it's too high. They're like, oh my gosh, it's way too crazy. But hey, Rick's crazy. He always wants to buy it for the highest price. I mean, what price works for you? 70% of the listing price is the MAO, and you're good to go. So if you're ready to start making a ton of money lowballing sellers on Zillow, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, search up some of my live closes on YouTube, and start calling these Zillow FSBOs right now. So guys, if you got any value from this video, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach signing out. Have a blessed one.